From the horse capital of the world, the great city of Lexington, Kentucky, welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, join us as we celebrate the music of Kentucky. Tonight, Red Barn Radio welcomes Royal Blue Bluegrass. Red Barn Radio is brought to you with the financial support of LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's Arts Council, a catalyst for creating a progressive and innovating community inspired by the arts. And Natasha's Bistro and Bar, Lexington's premier arts and entertainment restaurant known for contemporary dining with a lively venue of theater and music. Natasha's Bistro and Bar at 112 Esplanade in downtown Lexington. You'll find more information on the web at beatnik.com.
Good evening, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. I am your host, Adam Lucky, welcoming you to the Performance Hall at Arts Place in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Whether you're in the studio audience or listening to this broadcast over the airwaves, you help support the mission of Red Barn Radio, promoting, preserving, and performing the music of Kentucky and the region. Tonight, we welcome Royal Blue Bluegrass. The band members are Karen Maxfield playing the dobro and singing lead and harmony vocals, Rick Maxfield playing the acoustic bass and singing vocals, Chuck Bowman on the banjo and the vocals, and Adam Hopkins playing the guitar and the mandolin. Stay with us as we hear their music and stories, but let's give a warm Red Barn welcome to Royal Blue Bluegrass.
All right, let's do a little head over heels, brother. I'll go across the ocean if I don't lose my notion. I have to forget you if I can. Well, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do, 'cause I'm head over heels in love with you. Every day's sad and lonely, and I'm thinking of you only. I just can't sleep when I lay down. Well, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do, 'cause I'm head over heels in love with you. But this life ain't worth living if I have to sit and worry over you. Well, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do, 'cause I'm head over heels in love with you. Oh, the nights are long and dreary, all I do is sit and worry. I can't bear the thought of losing you. Well, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do, 'cause I'm head over heels in love with you. Well, I'm feeling so blue, I don't know what to do, 'cause I'm head over heels in love with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Here's Red Barn Radio's host, Adam Lucky, speaking with Royal Blue Bluegrass. Here's Adam.
We are here tonight with Royal Blue Bluegrass. Welcome, lady and gentlemen. Again, let me introduce who we have on stage. We have Karen Maxfield playing the dobro and the lead harmony and vocals. Let's give a round of applause to her husband, Rick Maxfield, on acoustic bass and vocals. Chuck Bowman on the banjo and the vocals. And Adam Hopkins on the mandolin and the guitar. We haven't heard the mandolin yet, but we've heard the guitar. We are certainly enjoying all this music that you're performing for us, but you do this for more personal reasons than simply just entertaining. You preserve memories, you honor and you celebrate the tradition of this kind of music and those who play it. I was wondering if you each could maybe talk about the family connections that you have to this music and why it is so special to you.
I grew up listening to it, and we have our son here with us tonight too, dragging him everywhere that we go, playing music.
Karen Maxfield.
He's kind of starting to show interest in picking up the mandolin. But growing up with it, my parents played. My father played dobro, kind of inspired me to play the dobro. My mom played just about everything else. So my dad recently passed away back in June, and I feel even more connected now through the music with him. It's very special, especially recordings and things that we have together over the years. It's just very special to have that connection.
Was your father your teacher? Did you just watch and just kind of pick it up as it went along, or did he kind of take you under his wing?
He taught himself, and he literally, when I went to him and I said, "Dad, I want to learn how to play this," he said, "I'm not going to teach you because I want you to learn the right way to do it." I took formal lessons, and then he helped me after that and kind of showed me a few things.
And are you playing his dobro?
I'm not playing his dobro tonight, but I brought it with me. Kind of goes along with me, and I plan to play that some on stage as we perform. Kind of keeps him right there with me. Your cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry and cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through. Your cheating heart will tell on you when tears come down like falling rain. You'll toss around and call my name. You'll walk the floor the way I do. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Your cheating heart will pine someday and crave the love you threw away. The time will come when you'll be blue. Your cheating heart will tell on you. When tears come down like falling rain, you'll toss around and call my name. You'll walk the floor the way I do. Your cheating heart will tell on you. Your cheating heart is gonna tell on you. Thank you. Thank you.
Others of you have connections as well. Adam, why don't you talk a little about your connections to family and why this music is so important to
Well,
you?
I was that kid that was being drug around for years.
Adam Hopkins.
I never played till I was 20 years old, and didn't ever pick up an instrument, single one. But it was one of those things that you can't run away from. I saw it as a great connection, an opportunity for my dad to be able to do things and I to do things together that we really couldn't do a lot of other things together. But this was one of the things we could. And every song that I sing, every inflection that I have, I sing it because that's the way he sung it. I think I frustrate Rick and Karen sometimes because they say, that's not the way it's done. I was like, well, that's the way my daddy did it. And so that's the way I've got to do it because there's no way I can get it out of my head. So he's here with me all the time. And, your parents, your family, you all sang up here on the Red Barn radio stage. We did whenever from the first or second seasons that was on here. It's an honor for me to be able to stand in the spot. Someday, if y'all are still around, maybe my son, their son will be up here singing with us too. It's just a great thing to be able to think to the future and in the past on. It's just a great connection.
Three men on a mountain up on Calvary, and the man in the middle was Jesus. He died for you and me. Now the man on the left was a sinning man, tied to the cross he bled. He could have been forgiven, but he mocked alone instead. Say you are the Son of God. Well, they nailed you to that tree. Come down and save us. God, your Father be. Three men on a mountain up on Calvary, and the man in the middle was Jesus. He died for you and me. Sinner too, but he was sorry for his sins. He asked the Lord forgiveness, and Jesus said to him, fear not this earthly death. Before this day is all, you'll be with me in paradise on heaven's golden shores. Three men on a mountain up on Calvary, Jesus, he died for you and me. Three men on a mountain up on Calvary, and the man in the middle was Jesus. He died for you and me. And the man in the middle was Jesus. He died for you and me.
Now, Chuck, I wonder if you could talk a little about your connection to music.
The whole thing, like they were saying, it's a family-oriented thing. I mean,
Chuck Bowman.
if I had to put it down, my father, he'd have really been upset about it. So I decided, well, keep his memory going and try to keep the music going. I decided, well, I'll keep doing what I can.
Well, this band certainly is a testament to that. Rick, do you have any connections with that really keep you rooted to this style of music?
Rick Maxfield.
I used to have long hair and listen to heavy metal music, so I look more like Ed than anybody else up here on the stage. My grandfather, when I was growing up, I used to hang out with him over the summers, and that's back when you had those big black round things that you put on this big console in the middle of the floor, and there would be a stack of these things this tall. And you'd hear everything from Glenn Miller to Count Basie to Elvis Presley to Flat and Scruggs. And even though Grandpa didn't play, he kind of got me into that. He really liked the instrumentals. He didn't really understand the concept of a cassette tape. he would have me record cassette tapes for him so he could listen to bluegrass instrumentals and some old-time country stuff. And so I kind of got into it listening that way with Grandpa. And then when Karen and I got together, she kind of drugged me. I was the kid kicking and screaming. She dragged back to the house where Dad, Mom, and everybody were playing. And that was really kind of the raw introduction to the music, So it was a connection from a little bit of my family and a little bit of her family as well.
Crying holy unto the Lord, crying holy unto the Lord. Well, if I could, I surely would stand on that rock where Moses stood.
If you've just joined us, this is Royal Blue Bluegrass on Red Barn Radio.
Well, I think we're going to do one of your... Is this an original tune?
No, it's not original, but it's
you
one
told me
that
the cat wrote this song.
No, I didn't tell you the cat wrote it.
You did, too.
I told you a horse wrote it.
A horse?
A Bluegrass Thoroughbred.
Bluegrass Thoroughbred, there you go.
Yes, there's an album out there floating around by the Bluegrass Thoroughbreds, and that's who did this song. It's called Nashville, Tennessee. We've got 2 or 3 songs that we like to do something there, and this is a good one.
Nashville, Tennessee, look what you've done to me. Took my girl and my guitar. I'm leaving you soon and going far. Well, I came here with everything I own packed in my car. I walked every street in town, I played in every bar. But nobody seems to want what I have for sale. So honk my old Martin, now I'm locked up in this cell. Nashville, Tennessee, look what you've done to me. Took my girl and my guitar, and I'm leaving you soon and going far. Again, I'll forget about the bars, the ladies and the gin. Well, the bottle almost got me down, took my girl away. Well, if I get out of here again, I'm going home to stay. Nashville, Tennessee, look what you've done. girl and my guitar, and I'm leaving you soon and going far. Nashville, Tennessee, look what you've done to me. Took my girl and my guitar, and I'm leaving you soon and going far. Yes, I'm leaving you soon and going far.
Thank you.
Karen and I started with her mom and dad and a banjo player. You know, we had a couple of different banjo players, but after they decided, you know, they really got tired of staying out late, playing music and running around, that they wanted to go run around and do something else. And so Karen and I just kind of kept the band going. And so we've added people on and off throughout the years. And fortunately for us, we're very blessed to have both Chuck and Adam, because they've hung around with us for, 5 years. It's just like any time in music, you go to a jam session, somebody says, hey, you got to go to listen to this guitar player. Like in Adam's case, Karen's cousin knew Adam because Adam's son was babysitted by her cousin's wife. This is Kentucky relationships. I mean, this is the way it goes. And we hooked up with Adam like that. And I think Chuck, he was running from the law and just kind of wound up at the doorstep with a banjo. But that's the thing, is it's always an interesting story, because you can't lie about those things, that how we got together was just, it's really just kind of fate. And it's lucky that you can hang out, and just like Adam was talking about, the songs that he does his way, and we're like, no, you don't do it that way. As a family, you have to learn to adapt to play with each other so you can hang out without killing each other.
I get that sense more and more with every band that comes through. It is a family. It is a connected family,
There's a lot of give and take.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not really like a family is what you're saying.
I'd say sometimes we're better and sometimes we're worse.
That's putting it mildly, yes.
The grass that I'm playing now is really blue, and it's been that way since I lost you. Me and my old fiddle are sure missing you. The grass that I'm playing now is really blue. I pray someday I'll hear you say that you love me from now on, but until then I'll just pretend you're in my arms where you belong. Well, I've made quite a name for myself, I guess. My sad little songs get the most requests. Standing ovations are nothing new. The grass that I'm playing now is really blue. I pray someday I'll hear you say that you love me from now on, but until then just pretend you're in my arms where you belong. Blue moon of Kentucky and Tennessee waltz remind me of you and the love I've lost. I'll love you forever until I'm with you. The grass that I'm playing now is really blue. I pray someday Thank you.
What brought you to Red Barn Radio this evening?
I had a friend in my neighborhood take me out from Nicholasville down to the downtown Lexington area. Not really from here. I've recently relocated to here. I've always been a fan of bluegrass and roots music. My father plays the banjo, so I appreciate this genre, and I'm really glad that I get to see it performed live here tonight, so thank you.
Coming up, more Red Barn Radio with Royal Blue Bluegrass, recorded live from the Performance Hall at Arts Place in Lexington, Kentucky. For information on our guests and our program, we're on the web at redbarnradio.com. We're back after this break. This is Red Barn Radio. Welcome back to this edition of Red Barn Radio with Royal Blue Bluegrass. Find more program information on our guests on the web at redbarnradio.com.
Well, we've been coming for a couple of years, I think. We just listened to Red Barn Radio on the radio. My husband, who's from Germany, he really likes the bluegrass music. So I dragged him along, and he's enjoying it. He brings me now.
So what is it about this bluegrass music that appeals to you?
Oh, it puts you in a good mood. I think, yes, I really enjoy it, and I feel good when I hear bluegrass.
Germany, like oompa bands and things of that nature.
I would not compare to this. It's better.
Well, that's what we want to hear. And we thank you so very much for being here, and continue to listen and continue to join us here. We'll go ahead and get the band back up here and get ready. But actually, while they're doing that, I wanted to talk to the youngest here. Karen mentioned that you were starting to pick up the mandolin. How's that going for you?
Good. I want to learn the chords, but I just put it off.
What makes you think you're putting it off?
My grandfather, he owns planes, and I want to be a pilot like him one day.
Well, let's get right back into some music. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are again, Royal Blue Bluegrass. Who are your musical influences? Who really turns you on musically? What do you like to put into the CD player or put on the record player?
I'd say the Beverly Hillbillies is what really turned me on to it, was Earl Scruggs' banjo. And of course, Lexington's own J.D. Crowe. You know, they was my two favorites.
Okay. Adam, what about you?
Well, the band that you have on your shirt is one of my favorite bands ever.
Wilco?
Wilco is a great band. I do not listen to bluegrass music outside of this band. I try to turn my son on to Bowie and Zeppelin and as much musical influences as possible. That's what I grew up with. My dad, grew up singing bluegrass, but listening to the Temptations. So, harmonies and so many different things are so integral to that kind of, the different types of music that I think it helps me to stay fresh in what I do on the bluegrass guitar by not listening to what other people do.
Karen, what about you?
Well, certainly growing up listening to my parents, that had a lot of influence in the songs that I sing and the way I play. But I also enjoy other types of music as well. I love a good Frank Sinatra number, and I like to incorporate some classic country into some of my songs. So I do listen to a lot of variety. When I do listen to bluegrass, though, I guess my idol has always been Jerry Douglas. And the gentleman who built this guitar, his name was Ivan Guernsey, and he gave me lessons in Indiana, and he was just a phenomenal player as well. So he was very influential.
My influences, especially in bluegrass, are more like Ozzy Osbourne and Iron Maiden. That was, go back to the Ed Hare thing up there. I listened, like I said, with Grandpa, I was listening to Flatt and Scruggs and listening to, and when I get introduced to bluegrass through Karen's family, I really, really got down with Seldom Seen. I love the fact that you could play a good old straight hardcore traditional instrumental and then, jump into Nadine, and do it bluegrass style and listen to some of because I love the instruments, the banjo and the dobro and the guitar just threw me into it. So I listened to bands that influenced me, Steep Canyon Rangers, Seldom Seen. I love Lonesome River Band still to this day. And hearing the classics and then getting to see them on stage and then listen to the newer generations, that kind of still influences me. Fortunately, as an old man, sometimes I think, well, this is the only thing I'm going to do. Well, I listen to somebody play, and it's like, I need to try to think about that. And then it influences how I play still, even with the tots that you see playing on stage that are 4 or 5 years old that you just like, how do you do that? You're just like, go, get away from me. Germany? What part of Germany? Bavaria. My family's German, and we listened to quite a bit of polka music when I was growing up. I had you and Papa playing in the house all the time with Grandpa, as well as bluegrass and a lot of the other ones. So, there's a good connection between bluegrass and some folk music from Europe as well because of some of the beat, the rhythm. And that may be why you enjoy a little bluegrass. But after we play, you probably will go back to polka most likely. I think if everybody's ready, we're going to do a tune that actually I heard way back when Tony Rice doing it. It's kind of a good old tune. It's if you've ever noticed the thing about bluegrass music, it's such inspiring, inspirational, wonderful, happy not really, is it? Lord, it seems like only yesterday you told me you couldn't live without my love somehow. And now you're with another, it breaks my heart somehow. I won't care 100 years from now. Lord, 100 years from now I won't be crying. 100 years from now I won't be blue. My heart has forgotten that you broke every vow. I won't care 100 years from now. Do you recall the night that you promised another's kiss you never would allow?
That's all in the past, dear. It didn't seem to last. I won't care 100 years from now. Well, 100 years from now I won't be crying. 100 years from now I won't be blue. My heart has forgotten that you broke every vow. I won't care 100 years from now. Well, 100 years from now I won't be crying. 100 years from now I won't be blue. My heart has forgotten that you broke every vow. I won't care 100 years from now. Well, I won't care 100 years from now. Thank you.
I think whenever we sing, we really feed off one another. You know, I feed off Chuck's banjo, he feeds off my guitar. Karen and I, when we sing, we have to be looking at each other. You know, she has to see when I'm getting ready to open my mouth because I probably never sing it the same way twice. It makes it difficult, but at the same time, you know, there's always that concussive force of, you know, that togetherness that we have and that impact. I think when we do sing the harmonies, it really comes across that you know that we're together. You know, we're not just, you know, with our voices, but, you know, we're really in sync, I think, as a band. Yeah, this is a song that my dad, whenever he did it, and I think, to my understanding, he's probably the earliest bluegrass band that done this song, because they did it a long time ago.
In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida?
No, it wasn't In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, but it's Turn the Page by Bob Seger. And lots of bluegrass bands do it now, but my dad, you know, he did it, and when he first did it, my papa, if Carter Stanley didn't sing it, he should have. Anybody knows there's Ralph Stanley, Stanley Brothers, but Carter was the singer of the two. Said, I don't know if we can get this song by my dad. He said, he's going to balk at this, and if he don't think it's bluegrass, then he said, we'll just never be able to do it. So they did it one day, and they just waited, and they looked at my papa, and he said, who sung that song, boys? He said, that's a good song. And my dad said, Carter Stanley done that one day. He said, well, I never heard that one. After a while, you know, they got to calling it the Bluegrass Classic. Whenever he said, we're going to do the Bluegrass Classic, then you understood that it was Turn the Page by Bob Seger. My apologies to my dad and to Bob Seger on this song. It's one of those songs that we love to do it, and it really suits bluegrass for some reason.
On a long and lonesome highway, east of Omaha, you can listen to the engine rolling out as one long song as you think about a woman or a girl you knew the night before. And your thoughts will soon be wandering where they always do when you're riding 16 hours, nothing much to do. Don't feel much like riding, you just wish the trip was through. Hey, here I am on the road again. There I am up on stage, and here I go, playing star again. There I go, turn the page. When you walk into a restaurant, strung out from the road, you can feel the eyes upon you as shaking off the cold. You pretend it doesn't bother you, but you want to explode. Sometimes you can hear them talk, other times you can't. All those same old cliches. Is that a woman or a man? You always feel outnumbered and you don't dare make a stand. Here I am on the road again. There I am up on stage, and here I go, playing star again. There I go, turn the page. but you're a million miles away. With every ounce of energy you try to give away, as the sweat pours out your body like the music that you play. And later in the evening, as you lie awake in bed, with the echoes from the amplifiers ringing in your head, smoke today's last cigarette, remembering what you said. Here I am on the road again. There I am up on stage, and here I go, playing star again. Here I go, turn the page. Here I go, turn the
page. Just joined us? This is the music of Royal Blue Bluegrass on Red Barn Radio. Celebrate the music of Kentucky.
You've been members of the Bluegrass Hall of Fame since '04, is that correct?
We were very fortunate to have Karen's mother and father, Frank and Emil Goodlett, and Morris Goodlett playing with us, and their drive and their inspiration. And they knew everybody. They knew everybody in the business. They'd been in the business forever. Even as much as, String Bean inviting them to travel with him on the Opry Roadshow. I mean, these people knew music, and even if they weren't playing, I could look at Frank and Emmerdale, and I could see what they were thinking about who was performing just by the look on their face. I knew their mood, and Karen did too, and you could tell how to respond. Well, because they knew everybody, fortunately, when they get out and play, people say, hey, you need to come play. You need to come play. And we got out more and more and more. And finally, when we kind of made it to Renfro Valley, you get invited to play, and you play a few times, and then, hey, we'd like to put you on the wall. It's a great honor. And I still today, I have people that come back from the Music Hall of Fame and say, hey, you know what? We went down to the Music Hall of Fame, Renfro Valley, and saw your picture. And I'm like, I can't believe they still have it up. I thought they were going to put it in the bird cage last week.
My sweetheart is gone and I'm so lonely. He said that he and I are through. I started drinking for pastime, driving nails in my coffin over you. I'm just driving nails in my coffin. Every time I drink a bottle of booze, I'm just driving nails in my coffin, driving those nails over you. I've been so sad and so blue. I can't help thinking of you, love, and I can't quit drinking that old booze. I'm just driving nails in my coffin. Every time I drink a bottle of booze, I'm just driving nails in my coffin, driving those nails over you. You turned me down, you don't want me. Well, there's nothing more that I can do. I'm just driving those nails in my coffin, worrying my darling over you. I'm just driving nails in my coffin. Every time I drink a bottle of booze, I'm just driving nails in my coffin, driving those nails over you. I'm just driving those nails over you.
Now, you play lots of different types of events, not just bluegrass festivals, but sporting events. Talk about some of the interesting places that you've played and what those receptions are like.
Well, we've played several wedding receptions. It's amazing how many people who get married in Kentucky who are trying to do a traditional wedding and want a bluegrass band. It's wonderful to sit in the corner and just play for them, and they love the music.
Every one of us, we have families, we have jobs, but we still get together and play. So the future, you never know. each one of us hopes and prays that we're playing and playing together. I mean, I've had more fun with these people right now than I ever have playing music. We don't have to be the biggest band in the world. We don't have to be the best band in the world. But if we enjoy coming to Red Barn Radio and going to a wedding at the castle in Versailles, or playing a little festival someplace out in the middle of nowhere, having fun playing music, and then getting off stage and talking to people that come up to you like, you had coffee with them yesterday morning. That's the future with us with bluegrass music, is the familiarity of the friends and the tunes, and not worrying too much about making it to the pinnacle, of the mountain, but enjoying what we're doing. And when it comes along, we know it feels good, you have fun with it. And what direction it goes, you just kind of ride the train and go on.
A girl I love so dearly. She lived away back in the hills. When the bluebird sings, I miss my darling. Love her, I know, I always will. There's a bluebird singing in the Blue Ridge Mountains, calling me back to my home. Oh, I can hear those bluebirds calling me back to my home. Mountain, far from my home, back in the hills. But I'm going back to see my darling, her memory that haunt me still. There's a bluebird singing in the Blue Ridge Mountains, calling me back to my home. Oh, I can hear those bluebirds calling me back to my home. My home was lonely, for the one I loved was gone away. The sad news came from her mother. She's sleeping there beneath the clay. There's bluebirds singing in the Blue Ridge Mountains, calling me back to my home. Oh, I can hear those bluebirds calling me back to my home. They're calling me back to my home.
Well, that is it for this week's Red Barn Radio. I'd like to thank our guests, Royal Blue Bluegrass, for being with us here tonight. I'd also like to thank you listening to our webcast and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations. And of course, the members of our studio audience, we thank you all for supporting the mission of Red Barn Radio to promote, preserve, and perform the music of Kentucky and the region. For more information, we're on the web at redbarnradio.com. If it's Red Barn Radio, it's always a good time. Until we meet again, go well.
On my mind. Blue night, blue as I can be. Well, I don't know what would come of me. Where we used to walk, I walk alone with an aching heart, 'cause your love is gone. Blue night, blue as I can be. makes you mad, blue night, 'cause I'm all alone. Makes you mad, blue night, 'cause I'm all alone. Oh, I say blue night, all by myself. Thank you all.
Red Barn Radio would like to thank our guests, Karen, Rick, Chuck, and Adam, Royal Blue Bluegrass, for being with us tonight. Red Barn Radio was recorded live in front of a studio audience from our home, the Performance Hall at Arts Place, here in the heart of the Bluegrass, the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Thanks also to LexArts CEO Jim Clark for his support of all of our broadcast recordings. We also thank our local partner, Willie's Locally Known, providing great barbecue for our volunteers and some of our studio guests. Willie's Locally Known, a barbecue and music establishment here in Lexington. Red Barn Radio's executive producer is Ed Commons, who also directs our show. Red Barn Radio's host is Adam Lucky. Dave Kelleher is our location manager. We also thank our volunteers, especially Linda and Glenn Dawson, Lynn Hacker for her help with our social media. We also thank Amy Maddox of Red Boots Marketing for her help with Red Barn Radio, and 5 Crew Communications' Shane Atchison for media relations. You can attend a Red Barn Radio concert in person. You'll find us on the web at redbarnradio.com for performance dates and times. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. The Red Barn Radio Playout theme was written and performed by the Downtown County Band. The full version of this song can be heard on their CD release under the title Monterey Blues. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be here again on this station next week at this same time with the traditional music of Kentucky. I'm the voice of Red Barn Radio, Tom Brown. Red Barn Radio has been brought to you with the financial support of LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's Arts Council, a catalyst for creating a progressive and innovating community inspired by the arts. And Natasha's Bistro and Bar, Lexington's premier arts and entertainment restaurant, known for contemporary dining with a lively venue of theater and music. Natasha's Bistro and Bar at 112 Esplanade in downtown Lexington. You'll find more information on the web at beatnik.com. Red Barn Radio is a production of Red Barn Radio, LLC.